Every NBA season, there are players who play way worse than you expect, and this season has been no different. So today I have selected 5 NBA players who I thought would do better than they have. Don't forget to like because it means a lot, subscribe so we can hit 200, and comment to start a conversation. And play that intro. Terrence Ferguson is one of the most athletic players in the NBA. He is only 21 and has lots of time to improve. In his rookie season, he didn't play oftenly, being seen as a raw prospect not ready for the NBA. But last season, Terrence got significant starting minutes on a title contender, starting in all 74 games for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was considered a breakout role player for OKC and was great on defense and had made strides, turning into an average three-point shooter. Him and Jeremy Grant were seen as OKC's best role players. But after all that improvement, Terrence has fallen down to earth, only being athletic and being good at defense. His minutes have gone down by 3 since last season. He started the season off starting, but he hasn't been starting for the last 20 or so games. Terrence's three-point shot has fallen off a cliff, falling from 36% from 3 last season, which was a solid percentage, to a terrible 29% from 3 this season. That is his biggest reason for his minutes declining. If he cannot make three-pointers, he is a huge negative, with him not having any driving ability, and his defense was never good enough to cover his offense, being a liability. He isn't even shooting 40% from the field this year and has been one of the worst offensive players. When Terrence is on the court, OKC's offensive rating goes down to negative 3.7, but when he exits, it goes up to plus 5.5. Hopefully Terrence can get his shot back, because then he can be a Andre Roberson with slightly worse defense but way better shooting. Draymond Green is one of the most controversial NBA players in history, with many people overrating him and many people underrating him. He's often talking trash just like he's a superstar, and that's what irks a lot of people the wrong way. That is his biggest reason for being hated, along with the fact that a lot of NBA fans only look at stats of how much points he scores, but Draymond is way more than that. Going into this season, I expected Draymond to have his best season yet, because it would be his first time in 3 seasons without Kevin Durant, who is a superstar who commands the ball a lot. I expected Draymond, now being the team's third option and second ball handler, he would play great. I thought Draymond would shut up all of his haters and play how he did in the 2016 NBA season. In the 2016 NBA season, Draymond averaged 14 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, 7.4 assists on 49% from the field and 39% from 3. Draymond also finished 7th in the MVP for that year, so he was a fringe superstar. I expected Draymond to go back to this or be slightly worse, but when the season started and Steph got injured, I even thought he could do better and show everyone he can lead a team, and I thought he could lead the Warriors to at least contend for playoffs. But boy was I wrong. Draymond has had his worst season in 6 years. Draymond has averaged 8 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 6.2 assists on a putrid 38% from the field and 27% from 3. He simply has not played up to his level, and it is clear now that he needs stars to be effective. Aaron Gordon would have been totally forgotten this season if it wasn't for Dwayne Wade infamously giving him a 9 out of 10 when he clearly deserved a 10 in the dunk contest. But it's pretty disappointing that that's his biggest highlight of the season, when he should be known for breaking out this year and being a fringe all-star, or maybe even an all-star. Aaron has slowly been declining every season over the last 3 years. Just 2 years ago, Aaron was averaging 17.6 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, 2.3 assists on 43% from the field and 33% from 3, looking great with him improving significantly all of his seasons. In the 2018-2019 NBA season, his points fell down 1 point, but he was still good, being a high teen scorer. And in the playoffs against the Toronto Raptors, he was good, averaging 15.2 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists on 46% from the field and 40% from 3. so I assumed this year would be his breakout year, but he has been significantly worse. He has averaged 14.4 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, 3.7 assists on 43% from the field and 30% from three. His three-point shot, which was his biggest weakness coming into NBA, has gotten worse since last year, down 4% on less attempts. Aaron is still an average starter and not a bad player at all. Real NBA fans know who Derrick White is and why he is on the list. Derrick White is a super underrated and solid point guard. Just last year, Derrick came out of nowhere and was a solid starter for the Spurs, and he helped them a lot to make the playoffs. His offense and defense was very needed, and he averaged 9.9 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists on 47% from the field and 33% from three. But him just averaging 10 points at the age of 24 wasn't the reason I expected more from him this season. It was because of in the 2019 NBA playoffs, Derrick White balled out, averaging 15.1 points per game, 3 rebounds and 3 assists on 54% from the field and 29% from three. This series included a Game 3 where he dropped 36 points, leading the Spurs to a win. And in Game 1 of the series, Derrick White ended Paul Millsap's career. Derrick was a big reason that series went to 7 games, and without him, it would have ended earlier. So after this series was done, I was excited to see if Derrick could keep that momentum and be an improved player for next season. But Derrick has been pretty much the same player, averaging 10.4 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, 3.4 assists on 45% from the field and 35% from three. His points have been slightly up with less minutes, and his three-point shot has been slightly better, but by no means has he been worse than last year. He has been worse than I thought though, but I think that the only person who expected him to break out was me. So it's positive that he improved, and maybe next year he'll break out. This offseason, Al Horford signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. It was viewed as a positive signing, with the fact that Al was the hardest player for Joel Embiid to score on, and now he was on his team. Also because Philadelphia would supposedly have the best defensive front court in the NBA, and maybe even the best front court. Al would also be a good stretch four. Many thought it would be an awkward fit, but figured they would figure it out on the court. Al has been very bad this season and has not been his usual self. He has been slow guarding power forwards who are faster than him, and due to him playing power forward, his defensive ability hasn't been as good since at center he does things that most centers can't do, such as guard perimeter scorers effectively, shoot the ball, protect the rim, and guard the pick and roll. I didn't have any expectations for Al coming into the year. I just expected him to be what he was for Boston for 3 seasons. Now that I look at it, in the playoffs, if Al starts playing good, it will help Philly's chance to go far into the playoffs. Some honorable mentions are Kyle Kuzma, who everyone thought would play great alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but he has disappointed, shooting terrible from 3. Also Mike Conley, who many thought would be Utah's second option and would be an all-star level player, but this season he has been very bad, being inefficient and inconsistent. Another honorable mention is Lauri Markkanen, who was expected to break out this season, but he has done the opposite, struggling a lot. But a huge reason to him struggling is because of his coach Jim Boylan not using him properly. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Please drop a like so I know if you like the video and I can do more like this. Subscribe so we can hit 200 subscribers. Comment to start a conversation. And watch these 2 videos if you want more NBA content like this. And I'm out.